Hi guys, and welcome to Hearts of Iron 4. Today we are going to be selling our country. We're going to be profiting off of it in every way possible. It's going to be an exciting journey. I've never quite played Hearts of Iron 4 like this. I've played in a micro economy intensive way where we try to grow our economy as much as possible. But today we're actually just trying to profit for our own personal gain as much as possible before our country gets annexed by another country, which is pretty wholesome. Not really, it's pretty evil, but it's interesting conceptually. Also, the person doing the selling has the worst name of any Hoi4 leader, Pea Shooter. We also have an advisor with an equally as terrible name, Jiggle Juice. I don't know. I shouldn't be too surprised in this mod, but usually the names are pretty serious in this mod. But you have Piss Shooter and Jiggle Juice. Like, see, all these are normal. Queen Novo, that's fine. Zarka, that's normal. But this, I just don't know what happened with this country. We'll start with the first focus, the aptly named Art of the Deal. So what's basically happening in this path is the neighboring republic of, or not republic, probably, the nation of Zarantia is going to take over Tobuk soon, so we're preparing for its takeover in a year from now. We'll just be making some money and then getting out of here. We just have to get through this focus before the year ends. I think alternatively we could defy them, but I'm not going to be doing that. We're just going to be profiting today. I don't know if research even matters. I don't know. It probably doesn't, because we're not going to exist in a year. To do this, though, we have to lower warlord suspicion by instilling civil unrest. I know that might be a little unethical, but it's needed to make sure the warlords don't cause chaos. We have to make sure the deal goes through, and we have to make our money. Also, our first way of getting money is selling weapons from our stockpile to criminals. So we're gonna go ahead and start selling the weapons slowly. Though I should mention too that our leader at least has a semi-wholesome story. He just wants to pay off some personal debts and live in peace with his family as he flees the country. Still, stealing money from the country is a little bit iffy, but at least he's not doing it for, like, I don't know, Walter White reasons. We also have a good friend. He doesn't really know exactly what we're doing for sure, but he's happy to mess with documents and get the accounting fixed after we do suspicious things, if that makes sense. We're also, I think, at 5 million secured overseas. We need 10 million to do this focus here. Now we can ship alcohol to the war bands. Perfect. Classic strategy. And a wholesome love letter. That's very nice. All the more reason to launder this money. And then we'll work towards making a deal with the banker and get even more. Right now we have 20 million secured overseas, about 5 months left, 5-6 months. We have now unlocked a decision to do some classic cutting down on the competition, which will refresh our gun stockpile and to make us more money. So we made 50 million, which isn't as much as I would like. I'm sure if I played this better, I could have made a lot more, but 50 million is a lot. I'm sure that'll let us live a comfortable life with our family once we flee this place. Yeah, he feels a little guilty. But he hoped that the smiles on his family's faces could absolve his actions. Okay, good. And I think that's the end of our leader. And Zarantia is coming to take back their city. So farewell, long live the Aguelid, a new beginning. So now we've become the country that bordered us, the one that was taking the city. We get extreme corruption, which is unfortunate. It looks like we got a nice message from Piss Shooter too, but I'm not gonna read it because he's stupid and gone now. We at least have decent compliance, so resistance won't be too bad. We get new decisions now, though, to deal with the warlords. I think those are the same warlords that were trying to, you know, overthrow the government and stop us from laundering that money. And I should mention, too, that we aren't exactly just playing as Zarantia now. We have a different path than the regular Zarantia because we were playing as Tobuk originally and switched to Zarantia, because usually they would have to do this whole thing threatening with, I think, trying to declare a war to take the city. But since we just gave it to them, their entire old focus tree is invalid, so we have a slightly different one. Also, hey, look, it's that guy who helped us fudge the numbers. Great guy. I'm sure we'll find some use for him in the new administration too. And we have two options here: a sword for the bandits, the warlords are murderers and thieves, or we can do gently with cornered animals. Oh, and as this new country, we have 4 mills and 0 usable civs, so we're not in the best situation. We have a special slave-based economy, which is something, I guess. I would like to go into one of the normal economy laws, but I don't think we're allowed to. And now we're just simply escorting the warlords out. We'll do this focus too to get extra compliance in the city and decrease the corruption from extreme to severe corruption. At least we can steal the weapons from the war bands. That's kind of convenient. We don't have the greatest production, so that'll be nice. Our research speed is absolutely terrible though, minus 61%. It takes 2 years to research larger workspaces. This is really bad. And a sort of wholesome relationship brewing. One of the warlords is tired of fighting and wants to offer fealty in return for a home. So that's kind of nice. A good ending for at least one of them. The rest can just continue to be escorted out. He's not a very good general though, and is a winter expert, and this continent down here isn't the most wintry place. So yeah, she's probably never going to see action unless we somehow become some giant empire that needs a lot of generals. Now we do a lot of focuses to get factories, finally get rid of the corruption, get rid of the slave economy that I talked about earlier, and deal with the poverty, get some research slots, I think. This focus also gives us train technology for free. I don't think I've ever seen a focus do that before, but with how long it takes us to research stuff, that's very fortunate. It would take us over a year to research trains. Now we finally have the accountant money laundering assistant as a possible advisor. Now I guess we just get him, so we don't even have to pay all the political power to recruit him, which the cost to recruit new advisors is substantially increased due to the corruption, so it's nice we get him for free. So we'll want to continue dealing with the corruption, do this focus to get 5% extra consumer goods, then go down here to deal with the corruption more, get another minus 5% consumer goods, and then we will go down to the fate of the ruler of our nation. See, we're getting along well with our money laundering friend, who I guess is called Vasile technically. He's teaching the people about his holidays that he celebrates in his foreign land up here, Broadfield, which is about to fall to communism. Oh, and now this is kind of wholesome. We're gonna make Vasile the mayor. He is a snake, but no creature can deny that Vasile has been an indispensable asset as we restore our hold over Tubuk. That's, I guess, kind of wholesome, moderately wholesome. Oh, but I guess things take a bitter turn. The worst possible news. The princess discovered her mother was killed by an assassin. I don't know exactly why someone was trying to assassinate her, but I guess it's over. So we're now led by a tribal council instead, and we have a new focus tree. We didn't quite get to complete the other one. Looks like Vasile is still playing quite the significant role in things, but I guess now we'll appoint a new Agwelid. In the chaos after Mekuza's murder, the entire city became a boiling sea of shock and anger. The assassin, a Tobukian merchant, had come to the palace under the guise of delivering goods for the Agwelid, only to shoot her during her meeting with Vasile. At the news, Mekuza loyalist tribes rioted. The merchant's business was torched and his family killed by enraged tribe zebras. But Vasile, our friend, he pulled things together. Vasile, old chap, you've done it again. I didn't realize he was going to become such a main character after the entire money laundering thing. I thought he was just some random side advisor guy who helped us launder money one time. Now he's saving the country. And to, I guess, please the tribes, let's get some bonuses. The princess is now doing some special religious rituals, so it's improving the discontent. Now we can do at least one decision right now to praise the celestial gods and make the people less angry with us. And we've already gone on quite the adventure, starting as one country, becoming this country, and these decisions are actually really good. Production efficiency growth, factory output, large amounts of stability, though we have 100%, so it's not like the stability is very important, but I'll still take it. Now with all of the rituals unlocked, we'll, I guess, keep doing them as we progress down the right focus tree here and finally get the developed science base and get industrializing society and other things that will make us better. We're still very weak in the research department, very far behind, though our army is getting better. Now we finally have a third research slot. We're still really far behind in research, but that's better than what we've had. We'll get some normal artillery, which will be nice if we ever fight a war, which I think we will soon. Cheer Up Terror will probably invade us, maybe. We also really need to start doing this middle focus. I kind of got distracted with the shiny gem research slot, but we really need to work on getting rid of this massive discontent national spirit. We've improved our research so much that we got an event that just gave us another research slot. So now we have a positive research modifier in 4 slots. That's not bad at all. We've made massive progress. And finally, we've dealt with all the discontent, at least mostly. I think we still have some discontent. Yeah, it's severe discontent, but not as terrible. It's only minus 0.7% weekly stability. And suddenly she saw. She retched, stumbled, and pushed herself up again as she kept running deeper and deeper into the desert. Where and why didn't matter. She only knew that she needed to run, flee the abomination that the future of her people had turned into. How had she not seen? How had she not understood? Okay, well, so much for our new leader. She's now running off into the desert, and her focus tree has changed a little once again. Bury that which was, and set the tainted world alight. Let all become ashes, so that something new can grow from it. We're now led by our best friend there. The sudden departure. After the Aguelad ran off into the desert and got herself eaten by a tatsel worm, that's, a little extreme. We were half expecting things to go south and fast, but the expected explosions of violence did not come. It seems as though our efforts to divide the tribes had paid off, and with the hoofful of tribes that we could buy off on our side, we were safe, at least until last night. Out of nowhere, nearly every last of the tribals packed their stuff and left. The entire coast is being emptied of zebras, and in the cases where our border patrols tried to stop them, the tribals shot their way out. If we wanted to ensure that we didn't have to deal with the tribes again, that has certainly happened, but the circumstances are beyond suspicious. Okay, well, we lose 300 political power. Chaos across the country. One thing is coming after another, and both are bringing their extended families. The streets of Tobuk are still filled with rioters. We've no idea what's going on in the deeper parts of the country. Our troops are being sabotaged, and bombs have started going off at airports and railroad hubs. The perpetrators we've managed to corner have cut their throats rather than be captured alive. Something big is coming. The Song of the Goddess. Every foal among the Imazib knows to fear the passing of the Tazelworm, the creatures they know as Ijirmid. They are the heralds of the goddess of death, and all that steps in their path is undone. You do not fight the Ijirmid, you flee. Even if you could bring such a beast down, it would not earn your honor, but rather exile. For their passage brings the sacred Ijirnet flowers to the desert, through which those blessed with its taste can glimpse the gods. They are eternal, their wrath endless, and their gifts priceless, and when they sing, the Imazib knows the world will end. Slowly swaying as it towered above the zebras, the titanic worm filled the air with its rumbling lament, together with the priests that encircled it. Other priests walked among the gathered crowds, holding baskets baskets into which the tribe zebras threw their jewelry and their adornments, stripping themselves down to merely their robes in the way of the mourners, but for one exception. They were all armed, as the last zebra discarded his necklace and his rings. The mighty worm reared up high, its 3 jaws slowly opened as it looked out over the crowds. Gasps of horror and disbelief came from them, along with cries of denial and realization. Yet it was all drowned out as the worm, against all they knew, spoke. Behold your past, the false roads you walked, and behold where they led you. The voice was not 1 but 1,000, all speaking in accord as its breath washed over them, overwhelming them with the acrid sweet smell of ignet. The mirage has faded as you see, you understand, Aguelid broken, hopes crushed, trust betrayed, future murdered, rotting and left to the sand. So kill, Amazib, walk the bloody path, and bury the false world that would undo you. Die, and die as yourselves. End the broken world, and may your ashes bear the fruits of a new one. Legends come alive and myth marches to war. So we are now the host of the Grave Dancer. Not a very menacing country color. A somewhat menacing leader, though. That's very creepy. It looks like our friend, he's not going to last much longer, I assume. I guess we will now march on Tobuk. I don't know how strong he is, but I doubt he'll withstand what's coming here. We also have a new focus that has a slightly menacing design, I would say. Arise, Ejirmid, arise, Worm Queen. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's going to be much resistance here. And here we are, a stable new country with noble ambitions, I can only assume. So we gained a new division, the First Heralds. I guess we can now do the Song of the Ejirmid, and then every month we will gain 3 tassel worms for each state with the desert flowering. That's kind of interesting. I guess it'll be good to have our sandworms fight for our cause. Oh, we actually do have tassel worm battalions now, and these heralds of the new age contain them. In equipment, we have the worms and the armor. That's interesting. Now we have to undo some of the progress we made and switch to a regressing society. I guess I can delay doing that focus as long as possible, but we'll have to do it eventually. We'll do this though to get Tasselworm armor production cost bonuses. I guess, do we have the equipment? Yeah, we have Tasselworm armor. I guess we'll put a few factories on that. We also now have 2 abilities for states. We can send in the worms to purify the states, or we can send in elder Tasselworms to rampage through the state, feasting on the local population. That's exciting. I'm sure we'll have some fun doing that. And we have a focus a people at war. Very fun. I can't wait to bring upon the end of the world. The regressing economy is kind of unfortunate, but I don't think we can do anything to get rid of that. At least we can buff our leader to become extremely powerful and give us permanent weekly stability and war support. As we fight on, the calls of the goddess grows more and more. The tainted song of this broken world is silenced more and more. Yes, we're also now on Doomsday economy. And now we finally have to deal with Tobuk, the city that has brought so much pain upon everybody, from the money laundering thing forever ago to the old rulers trying to take this city at any cost. I guess it's finally time that we don't worry about it anymore. Modernity, the very word, is like an excretion from your lips. It is a mirage tempting you away from what you are. Tobuk is losing its population, all of its factories, and changing to a rural region. It's not even a victory point anymore. Also, we're going to bring news of the Worm Queen's will to our brethren in the south. They also are a desert-like nation, so we can give their states eventually the desert flowering modifier, which is good. We need a larger army. Oh, and conveniently, we just annex them. I'm also justifying on Hippogriphia. I don't know if that's a good idea. Probably not, but I don't know. I just feel like we have to attack them while they're at war with Carthage if we ever want to defeat them. I just don't know if that's a war we want to really get into because we don't have a navy. Like, honestly, it might be best just to continue spreading through the south. We can also do this focus to unlock the ability to get elder tassel worms, which I assume are superior to the regular ones. I might do this first because I don't think we can get any more core states, just so we can get more normal tassel worms, because then we'll have several new states that generate them, and all of our states that do will get +1 extra every month. So we got them kind of by surprise, but our army is rather weak, so I don't know how well this is going to go for us. So now we've unlocked the ability to summon or locate the elder tassel worms with this decision that only costs 5 political power, so we can do it on every state all the time because we aren't really spending our political power on anything else. And then we can use these guys to do really cool things, like, see, this is the capital of Hippogriphia, Mount Air. So we're going to send the tassel worms to rampage through there, or maybe just rampage through every state. I don't know. I guess we can only rampage through one state at a time. Do we have to be at war with the place we do it at? Could we just do it to random places like Canterlot and destroy friendship? Okay, so I think it's about time that we betray our ally, Carthage. Hippogriphia is weak enough that we can defend against them one-on-one now, and I kind of just want to take out Carthage and own it myself. Okay, so things have actually been terrible. It was not a good idea to declare war on Carthage because now Hippogriphia has a Carthage puppet state. We, however, managed to get naval supremacy with our 5 submarines. So we're going to invade them and hopefully capitulate them really fast before they can move divisions over here. They have some stuff, but we'll just encircle them and take all their ports. I'm probably gonna battle plan over here just so they can't retreat. That'll get them stuck in Carthage while we grab their victory points. Okay, we only won this out of sheer luck. This path is way too difficult. We can't do anything ourselves. This was just the most convenient scenario ever. Like, to do this, to fight these wars legitimately and not cheese them is just impossible. I don't think you can. I think you have to do stupid things. At least I think we can integrate stuff now. And by integrate stuff, I mean we delete every single building in the state and then we get a core, maybe. The stupid thing, though, is Chiroptera is more powerful than Hippogriphia, and we have to take them out, too. And they're in a faction with the Lunar Empire, so I don't even know what to do. I don't think we can beat them. I don't know if I can actually finish this path. Okay, well, I tried doing the war multiple times and kept losing, so this is going to be the end for now. Moral of the story, don't sell your country in Hoi4 for profit. Bad things happen to the world. Bye.